Picture this. You've just enjoyed a nice meal at your favorite restaurant. As you finish your last bite, the waiter brings over the bill with a smile. You reach for your wallet, ready to pay, but then you notice something. The receipt has suggested tip amounts of 18%, 20%, and 25%. You pause, feeling a mix of obligation and slight annoyance. This scene plays out not just in restaurants, but now in coffee shops, takeout counters, and even some retail stores. Welcome to the world of tipping fatigue. Tipping used to be simple, a way to show appreciation for good service in restaurants. Now, it feels like we're asked to tip for everything. It's not just about the money, it's about the constant decision-making and the guilt that often comes with choosing not to tip. That's why I decided to create this guide. In the following sections, I'll share 20 practical ways to deal with tipping fatigue. These tips will help you handle tipping situations while being fair to service workers and staying true to your budget. Check out the full details by visiting the link in the description. Number 1. Turn down tips politely. It's okay to say no to tipping sometimes. You don't need to feel bad about it. When faced with a tipping prompt, you can simply say, "No thank you," or "I prefer not to tip today." In fact, we've compiled a list of 13 polite ways to decline tipping, giving you a variety of respectful responses for different situations. These phrases can help you feel more confident and prepared when you decide not to tip. Remember, tipping is a personal choice. You're not obligated to tip in every situation. Practice using these polite refusals, and you'll find it becomes easier over time. Number 2. Recognize the broken system. Understanding the issues with the current tipping system can help ease some of the guilt you might feel. The truth is, the tipping system often puts the responsibility of paying workers on customers instead of employers. This isn't fair to customers or workers. Many service industry employees rely on tips to make a living wage, which shouldn't be the case. Recognizing this broken system doesn't mean you should never tip, but it can help you make more informed decisions about when and how much to tip. Number 3. Opt for self-service. Self-service options offer a great way to avoid tipping dilemmas altogether. Many stores now have self-checkout lanes where you can ring up and bag your own items. Some restaurants have self-order kiosks where you can place your order and pay without interacting with a server. Coffee shops often have a self-serve area for adding cream and sugar. Choosing these options when available eliminates the pressure to tip. It's a simple way to reduce tipping fatigue while still getting what you need. Number 4. Use cash for transactions. Paying with cash gives you more control over your tipping decisions. When you use a card, you're often faced with a screen asking for a tip, which can feel pressuring. With cash, you can decide if and how much to tip without that digital prompt. It also makes it easier to tip smaller amounts if you want to. Keep some cash on hand for situations where you might be asked to tip. This strategy can help you feel more in control of your tipping choices. Number 5. Opt for online purchases. Shopping online can be a great way to avoid unexpected tipping requests. When you buy things online, you usually don't encounter tipping prompts. This can be especially helpful for things like takeout food orders. Many restaurants allow you to order and pay online for pickup, skipping the tip screen you might see if you ordered in person. Online shopping lets you know the full cost up front, without any surprise tipping requests at the end. Number 6. Cook your own meals. Cooking at home is a fantastic way to avoid the tipping expectations that come with dining out. It's also a great skill to develop. Start with simple recipes and gradually try more complex dishes. You'll save money, have control over your ingredients, and skip the tipping dilemma altogether. Invite friends over for dinner instead of meeting at restaurants. You can even turn it into a fun cooking night where everyone contributes a dish. Home-cooked meals can be just as delicious as restaurant food, without the added stress of tipping. Number 7. Use pickup instead of delivery. When ordering food from restaurants, consider picking it up yourself rather than having it delivered. This often comes with lower or no tipping expectations. Many restaurants offer convenient online ordering systems for pickup orders. You'll save money on delivery fees and tips, and you'll have more control over when you get your food. Plus, the short trip to pick up your order can be a nice break in your day. Just remember to factor in the cost of transportation if you're driving to pick up your food. Number 8. Create a personal budget for tipping. Setting aside a specific amount for tipping each month can help you manage tipping fatigue. Decide how much you're comfortable spending on tips and stick to that budget. This approach lets you tip when you want to without going overboard. When your tipping budget runs out for the month, you can feel less guilty about saying no to additional tipping requests. It's all about finding a balance that works for your financial situation. A tipping budget puts you in control of your tipping decisions. Number 9. Choose restaurants with no tipping policies. Some restaurants have done away with tipping altogether. These places include service charges in their prices to ensure fair wages for their workers. Dining at these establishments can relieve the pressure of deciding how much to tip. You know upfront exactly how much your meal will cost. This approach also ensures that all restaurant staff, not just servers, receive fair compensation. Look for restaurants in your area that advertise a no-tipping policy. Supporting these businesses can be a great way to enjoy eating out without the stress of tipping decisions. Number 10. Support businesses with fair pay practices. Seek out businesses that pay their employees well. When workers earn a living wage, they're less reliant on tips to make ends meet. Research local businesses that are known for treating their employees fairly. These might include coffee shops, restaurants, or retail stores that advertise their fair pay practices. Shopping at these places allows you to support good business practices. It also reduces the pressure you might feel to supplement workers' wages through tipping. Your patronage helps create a more sustainable model for both businesses and workers. Number 11. Educate yourself and others. Learning more about tipping practices can help you make informed decisions. Read articles about tipping customs in different industries. Talk to friends who work in service jobs about their experiences with tipping. Share what you learn with others in your social circle. This knowledge can help you feel more confident in your tipping decisions. It also opens up important conversations about fair wages and business practices. The more people understand about tipping, the more we can work towards fairer systems for everyone. Number 12. Use alternative gratitude expressions. Remember, money isn't the only way to show appreciation for good service. A sincere thank you can mean a lot to service workers. Take a moment to make eye contact and express your gratitude verbally. If you received exceptional service, consider leaving a positive online review for the business. You could also speak to a manager to commend an employee's great work. These actions can boost a worker's morale and potentially help their career. Non-monetary expressions of gratitude are valuable and can complement or sometimes replace tipping. Number 13. Consider subscription services. Subscription services, like meal kit deliveries, often include service fees in their prices. This means no extra tipping is needed when you receive your items. These services can provide a break from tipping fatigue, especially for regular purchases like groceries or meals. You know the full cost up front, with no surprise tipping requests at the end. Subscription services can also save you time and reduce the number of transactions where you might feel pressured to tip. Look into subscriptions for services you use frequently to see if they could work for you. Number 14. Advocate for policy changes. If you feel strongly about changing the tipping system, take action. Write to your local representatives about implementing fair wage laws. Sign petitions that support better pay for service workers. Share information about these issues on social media to raise awareness. Attend local government meetings where labor practices are discussed. Your voice can make a difference in pushing for systemic changes. Remember, long-term solutions to tipping fatigue involve addressing the root causes in our wage systems. Number 15. Prioritize where you tip. Focus your tipping on services where workers rely heavily on tips. For example, servers in sit-down restaurants often depend on tips as a significant part of their income. You might feel less guilty about not tipping in other situations if you know you're supporting those who need it most. Make a mental list of services where tipping is most crucial. This might include restaurants, hair salons, or taxi services. For other services, like counter service or retail, you might choose to tip less often or not at all. This approach allows you to manage your tipping budget more effectively. Number 16. Utilize feedback channels. Many businesses have ways for customers to give feedback. Use these channels to express your thoughts on tipping practices. Fill out customer surveys when they're offered. Send emails to companies explaining how their tipping practices affect your experience as a customer. Leave constructive comments on businesses' social media pages. Your input could lead to positive changes in how businesses approach tipping. Remember to keep your feedback polite and specific. Businesses are more likely to listen to well-articulated, respectful comments. Number 17. Recommend the service to others. If you receive great service but can't tip as much as you'd like, consider recommending the business to others. Tell your friends about your positive experience. Share your recommendation on social media or review sites. This can bring in more customers, which means more income for the business and its workers. Your recommendation can be especially powerful for small, local businesses. While it doesn't replace a tip, it can provide long-term benefits to the workers you want to support. Plus, it's a free way to show your appreciation for good service. Number 18. Understand tipping is not mandatory. It's important to remember that tipping, while common in many places, is not legally required. This doesn't mean you should never tip, but it can help relieve some of the pressure you might feel. Tipping started as a way to reward exceptional service, not as an obligation for every transaction. If you're in a situation where you don't feel tipping is appropriate, it's okay to choose not to tip. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for this choice. Remind yourself that you're making the best decision for your situation based on the service received and your personal circumstances. Number 19. Use a tip calculator. Tip calculator apps can be really helpful in managing tipping fatigue. These tools quickly calculate appropriate tip amounts based on your total bill. They take the guesswork out of tipping, reducing stress in the moment. Many of these apps allow you to set your preferred tipping percentage. This helps you stay consistent with your tipping practices. Using a calculator also helps you budget more accurately when planning meals out. You can find free tip calculator apps for most smartphones, or use the calculator function to figure out percentages. Number 20. Prepay for services with tips included. Look for services that allow you to prepay and include a tip up front. This approach can reduce the stress of multiple tipping interactions. Many tour companies, for example, include gratuities in their upfront costs. Some restaurants offer prix-fixe menus with service charges included. When booking services like massages or hotel stays, ask if you can add the tip to your initial payment. This method lets you budget more accurately for your total costs. It also allows you to enjoy the service without worrying about tipping at the end. The final tip: finding your tipping balance. Tipping doesn't have to be a source of stress or guilt. With the strategies we've discussed, you can approach tipping situations with confidence. Remember, it's about finding a balance that works for you and aligns with your values. Start small. Try one or two of these tips this week. See how they feel and adjust as needed. You might find that some methods work better for you than others. That's okay. The goal is to develop an approach that feels right for your lifestyle and budget. As you put these ideas into practice, you'll likely notice a shift in how you feel about tipping. You'll make more intentional choices and feel less pressured in the moment. This can lead to a more positive experience for both you and the service workers you interact with. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget the link in the description.